Hello again, we're back with the Sports by Schmucks podcast, number 23 this time, and you know what, I'm just going to, Michael Jordan, 23 of course, and he got stared down by LeBron James when LeBron went up for a dunk earlier this week. Jordan sitting courtside.
Daggers.
Yeah, he stared him down as he went up and then after the dunk, so...
and
I guess that's
in that court and show him something.
I guess that's a former 23 as well, right? Because LeBron used to wear 23 before he went to South Beach. So there you go, some 23s there. We're going to stay in the NBA to start. The big news, obviously, from the weekend was the Donald Sterling tape that got released, and it kind of blew up all of a sudden when it hit TMZ. And then later, I believe it was Sunday morning, they put out another edition, I guess, of another extra 5 minutes on Deadspin. It was 9 minutes originally, then an extra 5 on Deadspin. So, I guess, I should mention, I'm here with Sean, just Sean today.
I guess people just assume I'm always here.
Yeah, unless you're told otherwise, it's pretty much the Sean and Brett show.
With guests every other 3 podcasts.
Well, we try to, people are busy. And you know who else is busy? Adam Silver, because he's trying to figure out what the hell's going on with this Donald Sterling incident right now.
And how the hell to punish him.
Exactly. So first of all, I know you kind of heard about it before, but I sent you a link earlier today, and you had to actually see what was said and hear what was said. So what was your initial reaction when you were reading it?
I know you can't really tell since it's a podcast we're talking, but I face pumped. It's just like, why? You're the owner of a basketball team. It's like your hockey team where it's predominantly white. Like in the article it says, like, your team's black. Like, how can you be racist if... I just don't get it. I don't get it, Brett.
Well, why? What don't you get?
No, I just don't get why.
He likes money.
I know that, but there's so many other things you can do with money. Real estate. Hockey.
Maybe he doesn't like hockey.
Well, apparently he doesn't like black people either.
Well, yeah, it's hard. I don't want to defend him at all because he's and we should say, just because everybody is saying it, allegedly is him on the tape. But it's clearly him on the tape.
Yeah, it's him.
But because for legal reasons, right now, everyone has to say allegedly or purported to be on the tape. So the thing that I found the most interesting about these remarks is the player reaction. Because normally, especially now, people are they're always so cautious about what they say, and with a matter like this, they'd probably wait for the union to release a statement. But every player pretty much
jumped right on that.
Jumped right on it. I mean, LeBron James normally doesn't say much, and he got on it and said this guy shouldn't be in our league anymore. So when LeBron actually steps out of his bubble, because LeBron, I think, takes it the same way that Jordan took it, where he's like, he's just there to play. Well, no, Jordan was there. Said, I'm not gonna go off on the right for the right because the left buys sneakers too. No, sorry, but I'm not gonna be a speaker for the Republicans because the Democrats buy sneakers too.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what so he doesn't want to ruffle any feathers. And I have a feeling that's especially ever since the decision, that's what LeBron's wanted to do. But when he came out and said something, that's kind of when I figured okay, everyone's going to have their say. And everyone has had their say, and it's pretty much been, across the board saying he has no place in our league. Yeah.
One way. I don't know if it's most of the league predominantly black.
Oh, yeah. I think it's 70% black.
You're shooting yourself in the foot by saying you don't like black players, especially name the best players, 10 best players in the league. Are they
you don't
probably
do that
black?
Right now?
Well, I'm just saying, are they probably black? Chris Paul, black.
I would say more I don't you get into debates probably when you get into 9 and 10 and whatnot.
True, but still.
Probably the at least
like maybe Kevin Love's probably the one person up there that's not black.
Maybe, yeah, exactly. But like that's still a large portion of not only the audience, and sure, it's not just the fact that he said like what he said, but he also said I don't want them at I don't want black people at my games. I don't want you bringing black people to my games.
Especially when he's the wife, which is crazy enough as is. But.
Well, that's another matter whatsoever. But like, how can you say that when that is your fan base? Like, does he like he sits courtside? Does he ever turn around and look?
At like 90% of his audience.
Exactly.
L.A.
Well, it's just I understand that it was said in private. But that's still how he feels. Yeah. And if that's the way he feels, why is he, like you said, why is he in the business of the NBA?
Yeah.
Other than the fact that, I mean, and he bought the Clippers for $13 million.
Yeah.
If he sold today, he could probably get upwards of $1 billion.
Probably $800 million at the very least.
Well, when you think about this, not Seattle. The last two teams to sell, Sacramento and Milwaukee. Milwaukee got $550 million.
Yeah.
And
they're not even a playoff team.
And they are terrible.
In the middle of Milwaukee.
They're in a bad market.
I don't know about bad market, but not a traditional basketball market.
No, but like by bad market, sorry, they're in a small market. I should say.
There you go.
Yeah, bad choice of words. Small market, Milwaukee. When you go to LA, not only is it Los Angeles. It's a huge, like, not just for Los Angeles, the city, but it's a huge media market. Pretty much, I don't know, even with the Lakers being terrible this year, every other Sunday afternoon game on ABC featured the Lakers.
Yeah.
And then maybe 25% of them at least featured the Clippers as well. Like, I know it's a star-driven league, and stars are there. But when the stars are predominantly African American, and that's who you make your money off of, him saying that, yeah, I give them jobs, I let them feed their families, that's not the right thinking.
No,
dude, they make you so much money by being on the court, and not even just saying, from league revenues. They bring in sponsors to your business. Sponsorships have been falling left and right to get away from the situation. Red Bull has already said we're not going to have any. We're going to still deal with Blake Griffin, but we're not going to deal with the Clippers. State Farm pretty much said the same thing with Chris Paul.
Yep.
They've lost a bunch of sponsors already, and we're recording this Monday night, by the way. So by the time you hear this, they may have lost more. Adam Silver's decision is going to be coming tomorrow at a press conference at 2 o'clock.
What do you think that decision is going to be?
I think one, he's going to be suspended for the rest of the playoffs, or at least not allowed in the building.
Yeah, I don't really think he can suspend an owner.
Well, I don't think he'd be allowed to attend games.
Okay, yeah.
And I think that's essentially suspending him.
I guess so.
I don't think he'll be allowed to attend either home or away games. Like, I wouldn't want to go to a game if I'm him now. Like maybe that punishment's not a punishment for him. He could be thinking, okay, good, I'm safe. Because I wouldn't want to go to games. I don't care if I'm in the middle of. I don't care if I'll have security on the front row. Everyone's going to see me. That's not a good scene to be in. There's going to be a huge fine.
Oh, easily. How much do you think?
I have no idea.
500?
500,000?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to.
You can't go too crazy.
I don't want to speculate on the number. I just think there's going to be a very big. There's got to be a big fine.
Draft pick, maybe.
See, the thing is, when we get into this, when you get into giving draft picks and things like that, because he said it privately and didn't technically break any league rules, it'd be hard for them to take away a draft pick. Because that's punishing the team and not so much the owner. Whereas when you do a fine, it comes out of the owner's pocket. When you suspend him from games, he doesn't get to go see his team.
I guess so.
But if you take away a draft pick, you're hurting the Clippers team. everyone's calling for his head to be for him to leave the organization and to sell the team. But I don't think
you just don't take a multi-million-dollar millionaire off a team.
There's people lining up to buy NBA teams right now.
Of course.
That's something that couldn't be said a couple years ago. But now, especially with Seattle on the Seattle group, even if that group does buy the team, I don't see them leaving Los Angeles.
No, I don't think so either. At least too big of a market.
But I don't think the NBA would be in their right to remove him.
No, I don't think they can.
I don't know how that would... everyone's talking about it, and you know what? He should probably step down.
That's his choice if he wants to do it.
But it's his choice, exactly. I don't think really the NBA has any leg to stand on if they want to make him not own the team. I mean, MLB kind of forced the Dodgers to sell during the whole divorce dispute a couple years ago. Sorry, what was it?
McCourts, right?
Yeah, I couldn't think of the name. Yeah, they've pretty much forced them to sell the Dodgers then, but
that was for very much different reasons, though.
Yeah, very different reasons, and I don't think either person wanted the team. There's no evidence to say that Sterling doesn't want the team. Hell, he probably wants the team because they make him money.
Exactly. I don't know.
It's definitely a sticky situation. It's definitely a difficult. For this to be Adam Silver's first pretty much big crisis.
It's a pretty big one.
It's pretty big, yeah. And Sterling has a history of discrimination. I mean, he had a lawsuit against, apparently he didn't rent to Latino, Black, and tenants with children. And then there was a civil lawsuit for wrongful termination. And from a longtime Clippers executive, Elgin Baylor, who used to be an NBA player, said Sterling embraced a Southern plantation type structure, and a bunch of racism allegations were put against Sterling then. So he has a history of it, which is another red flag. But like we said, I don't think there's much the league can do to get rid of him, unless he wants to leave.
Unless they kind of sanction the team, and kind of you can only I don't even know how they would.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But that would cripple the team, and then it's a sticky situation.
It's definitely not the situation that the NBA wanted to be focusing on right now, because they've had some fantastic playoffs happening right now.
Yeah,
it's been a fantastic opening round. I mean, other than the LeBron's Heat against the Bobcats, every other series has been close.
Or just like the Pacers. Even then, everyone's doom and gloom on them, but they still can win the series.
Exactly, and that's the thing. It's all about surviving the first round. I mean, except for the Heat. The Heat are probably trying to get rid of Charlotte as soon as possible so they can rest everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I don't want to spend too much time on the Sterling thing. We already did. I'll spend some time on it because really, until there is some sort of punishment, we don't really know what the NBA can and can't do.
Yeah.
But we know what people want. Magic Johnson's been on record saying he shouldn't be with the team anymore. Michael Jordan said it's disgusting that he's a part of the league. We've heard of the players speak out of it, but
what do you think of the Clippers with their jerseys yesterday? Put them on backwards. I think
it's there's just a statement that TSN just showed from his wife, Sterling's wife, Rochelle Sterling, and it's estranged husband. So they're probably still married. And my guess is because if the rumors are true that he's cheap, it's going to cost too much to divorce. Exactly. I think it's something. They had to do something, and unfortunately, they couldn't not play.
Yeah.
Because if you don't play, you do a disservice to the fans.
Yeah, you're screwing the league.
And I think at this point they don't care about screwing the league. Because if you screw the league, hey, that might make them do something more to get rid of Donald Sterling.
That's true.
But for their fans, though, who probably would have wanted to see them play, to forget about this,
the crap load of money that there are for playoff tickets.
Well, they were in Golden State.
Well, I mean, like the fact, like if they were to do it next game or the game after, like what if they do it at home? They don't come out to the floor. They know Sterling will probably be there.
Well, they've already said. I think they said he's not going to be at Game 5.
You never know.
I think, but as much as I would like to see them boycott a game, it's just hard. It's, to be honest, I don't think it's right, because you're hurting the owner, but you're also hurting your fans,
and you're hurting yourself.
Yeah, like if anything, what I would do is I would if I was like Chris Paul or Blake Griffin, I'd say, guys, don't show up. Just don't show up. Let that scene be something. Or if you want to go the route of the players doing something, don't show up for the first quarter. Just be late to the game. Don't come out of the tunnel. Don't come out for warm-ups or anything like that. Just don't.
But the thing is, if you're going to make your star players do that, you're going to make the backups do it, and then it's just silly.
No, yeah, the entire team stays back.
The thing is,
for as long as they possibly can.
Like, don't come out to warm up or anything. Just
pretty much do everything to get fines towards your team.
I don't know. I don't like that.
Why not?
It just seems childish.
Well, what else can they do then?
Nothing really.
Like the jersey, the putting the warm up shirts on backwards is fine, because it's like we don't want to be associated with the Clippers name right now. We just want to play basketball for the city. That's fine. But if you want them to do something, there's only so many things they can do, and that would be one of them.
But if you don't show up, I don't know.
Well, that's what I mean. Stay in the locker room until you get fined. Until the league says we have to fine you. Then say fine us, then they'll come out and play. Because what else can they do? They can't do anything.
It is true though. They're powerless. They're multi-million-dollar powerless people.
Yeah. So let's not talk about that anymore. Let's talk about the NBA playoffs, which has been very good so far. Us being Canadians, our big focus has been on the Toronto Raptors and Brooklyn Nets series. And yeah, if you ask me, the Raptors are pretty lucky to be tied in this series heading back to Game 5 in Toronto. What's your opinion on the series so far?
It's been good. Kevin Garnett is the master of getting away with fouls. That's just sad right there.
Well, it's not veteran savvy. It's veteran respect from the officials.
I know. It's been a good series. It's been back and forth. There's Toronto will be up big, and then Brooklyn will storm back, or Brooklyn will be back, and then Toronto will storm. Like, most of these games, it's been close.
Every single game has been close, yeah.
Like this 87-79, I was watching that game. That was a nail-biter.
And the worst thing about it, for that game especially, was the
Raptors were blowing them out.
The 1-16 in the third quarter.
Yeah.
But then the Nets came around and pretty much did the exact same thing in the fourth quarter, so it kind of balanced out. I mean, that's percentages in the NBA, right?
Yeah. I think that series is going to go 6 or 7.
Oh, I think it's going to go 7.
Do you think it's going to go 7?
Yeah, I think.
Well, it's going to go 6. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Raptors will win. I think the Raptors will win at home, and Brooklyn will win at home.
And we'll just leave Game 7 up to fate.
And with the way, not saying Game 4, because Game 4 in the fourth quarter, the refs were actually pretty favorable to the Raptors. But I don't want to put anything in the hands of the refs.
No. It's kind of like a fight, never put in the hands of the refs.
Exactly. You want to knock your opponent out. You don't want to have any referees or anything make an impact on the game.
Yeah.
So.
What about Washington, Chicago?
That's been surprising to me.
That's very surprising. I knew Washington was good, but they are spanking Chicago.
And it's shown Chicago's main weakness, which is they don't have that one scorer.
If only D Rose can stop being a cripple.
Well, see, that's the thing. D Rose was their god. Like they get balanced offense throughout the first 3 quarters, but when they need a basket, they don't have one guy to turn to.
Yeah, Hakeem Noah is not the guy you want to have. Like I can't name one scorer on that team.
I guess you'd go Jimmy Butler. Heinrich's not much of a scorer. He's more of a facilitator.
Sure, I don't know.
Like I watched that game pretty much from whistle to whistle. And Heinrich never really showed himself to want to take shots. At least that I noticed.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was because just the plays were called or the pressure of Washington's defense. Because they pressured the ball pretty well for the most part. But I'm surprised that Washington has been. I thought Chicago was going to win. Like I said, in the last podcast we had, I had Chicago in the Eastern Conference Final. But it looks like Washington could be that team now. Especially with the way Indiana, whoever wins between Indiana and Atlanta doesn't look like they could be any shape to win the next series.
Yeah.
So we could be looking at a Washington Wizards team in the conference final.
Against the Heat?
Probably.
Because it would be like Toronto, Miami, or Brooklyn, Miami?
Exactly, yeah.
Oof.
And as much as I like the young talent and what's been shown here, you don't want to go up against LeBron in the playoffs.
No. And even then Brooklyn, if it's a Brooklyn Heat, oh my God.
That'd be a knockout. That'd be like a fight.
That's a Boston Bruins, Philadelphia Flyers sort of series right there.
That's pretty much. In the Western Conference, it's been really the
Dallas. That's been so weird to me right now.
I remember I said Dallas, that'd be their better chance to win.
I thought San Antonio would be in the finals, not winning it at all.
Well, the thing is, when it comes to San Antonio, they and Dallas are built very, in my opinion, very similar. When you actually look at it, because they both have aging superstars in Duncan and Nowitzki.
Yeah.
They have youngish point guards or people who like to have the ball in their hand in Monta Ellis and Tony Parker.
Tony Parker's not that young.
Well, he's actually only 28.
Is he?
He's been around forever.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I think.
I'm going to look that up. I don't believe that.
I'm looking it up right now. Sorry, 31. I knew I was wrong. But he's not. But 31's not that old.
It's older than I am, so it's pretty old.
Well, okay. Well, a lot of people are older than you are. And then you have people off the bench like Manny Ginobili and Vince Carter who are old. Those guys are old. Yeah. So their teams are kind of built very similar. So it's not surprising to me that the games have been close, and that Dallas actually could probably be up 3-0.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably should have won game one. They're up late, and they just didn't score for the final 5 minutes.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. I mean, and then I guess you could argue that, say Vince Carter's makeup for 2001 in Game 3, that, it should be 2-1.
Yeah.
Golden State and LA hasn't disappointed. That's been a fantastic series.
Yeah. Golden State blew them out.
Yeah, Steph Curry just couldn't miss shots in the first half.
No.
And needless to say, Los Angeles was pretty distracted.
Yeah.
And then the other series, Oklahoma City, Memphis, which you called as a potential upset of Memphis beating Oklahoma City. I still think I said it's going to be a tight series, but I still think Oklahoma City, especially when you can get 31-point games out of Reggie Jackson to support Durant and Westbrook when they have an off night.
Yeah.
When you get points like that off the bench and off a player that you don't expect it to, that can really help motivate a team for next game. I mean, after that win, I don't know if you saw it or not, but Reggie Jackson was getting hugs from Durant, from pretty much his entire team, and it's like, you saved this young fella. Like, it was just like after the game they were walking around, and they pretty much, they pretty much gave it up for Reggie Jackson because he's the reason that they're tied going back to Oklahoma City.
Not 3-1, yeah.
Exactly.
Portland, Houston.
That's been surprising too. I mean, I knew
thought Houston would win that.
I did too. And I kind of forgot because Houston Portland kind of fell off, but they were very good at the start of the year.
Yeah.
They were up there back when Indiana was 18-1 or whatever their crazy streak was. They were talked about in the same caliber as one of the best teams in the West. I mean, that's what just makes the Western Conference so good. There's so many good teams in the Western Conference.
They're just so deep at every their 9 team is probably like a 4, like not a 4, but like a 6 in like the East.
Oh yeah, their 9th team, the Suns would probably be at least a 3 seed in the East for sure.
Yeah.
Like Portland probably would, if Portland was in the East, they probably would be in the Eastern Conference Final, hands down. Same thing with Golden State, they'd be in the Eastern Conference Final.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
So all that being said, just a quick thing that we kind of didn't before we move on from the NBA playoffs because everything's still going on. I'm sticking with my predictions because I'm not going to change them mid-series. What would your opinion be if they just took the top 16 teams in the league
instead of conference?
Instead of doing conference,
I wouldn't be for or against it. It wouldn't matter to me. As long as it's good basketball, I don't care. That's an idea that's been floated around. My only concern has to go with balancing the schedule and how you go about doing that. But honestly, when you get a team like Atlanta who is under 500 in the playoffs, that's kind of embarrassing for the league. So I think it'd be something that could be looked into, but it's going to be very hard to do, and it'd be interesting to see because then you'd actually get some. I think the matchup would have been Toronto-Miami in the first round. Oof.
Yeah, tough for Toronto, but
I like this matchup better.
Yeah, me too. So let's move on to the NFL now. It's just completely no good segue and just going to the NFL. They released their schedule in the middle of last week. It's every year you kind of know what team's going to play. It's just kind of a matter of when and where. And not so much where, but mainly just when each team's going to play each one. So we're going to go through the schedule week by week. Just pick out a game that we think is going to be interesting. You don't even have to give a reason. Just just pick out a game. So let's start with week 1.
You'll start if you want.
No, you can start.
The big game mostly everyone's going to go with is probably Seattle Green Bay. I'm actually going to go with Andrew Luck and the Colts versus the Broncos. Sunday night game.
That's what I was going to say too.
As much as the Green Bay Seattle game is going to be good, just seeing Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning going at it, it's going to be a sight to see. Yeah,
I agree. You were just so used to the Super Bowl winner headlining the first week. I just thought they'd put San Francisco in that spot instead of Green Bay. I think it would have made for a better, more interesting matchup. Pardon?
You said San Francisco.
Yeah, instead of Green Bay.
Okay, yeah.
I think that'd be a more interesting matchup to start off the season, especially with everything that happened between Crabtree and Sherman. On to week 2. To be honest with you, looking at week 2,
there's nothing there.
There's nothing really there. No. If I had to pull strings, if you want to go rivalry, the biggest rivalry would be the Steelers and the Ravens. But what could be interesting is the Monday nighter.
That's the game I was looking at. That's gonna be a high score. That Colts gonna be a lot of exciting games playing this year.
Yeah.
Eagles versus Colts on a Monday night.
That could be a fun game to watch.
In a dome.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be at least take the over on that one, kids.
Well, it depends what the over is. It might be so high you might want to take the under. The week 3, we're looking at the NFL.com website right now for the schedule. I kind of agree with them on their game of the week with the Redskins-Eagles.
Yeah, I'll agree, but I'll also throw out my team for the Thursday nighter, just because they're on TV.
Yeah.
So I'll be watching that, but yeah. Broncos-Seahawks, another good game.
Right.
Rematch at 4:25.
Right. You're right.
And apparently this year, apparently after week 5, the NFL can start redoing the matchups for their Monday nighters or their Sunday nighter.
Oh, they pushed it up to week 5 this year? Okay.
I believe it's week 5 or 6, but it's much earlier in the season now.
Week 4. Let Let's see. Well, there's a couple divisional matchups here. Well, one big divisional matchup at least with the Packers and the Bears.
Yeah.
So if you like division, hard-hitting football, it's probably one to look at.
Giants Redskins not bad.
Oh yeah, I didn't see the Giants Redskins there. Because they're on Thursday night. I always forget about the Thursday night. Again, I'm going to have to lean with NFL.com. The high-octane Philadelphia Eagles offense against the hard-hitting San Francisco 49ers defense. That could be pretty good.
I'm going to have to go against you on that one. I'm going to have to go Patriots-Chiefs, the Monday nighter on that one.
That could also be a good game.
I think that's going to be a solid, well-played game all around. I just have a good feeling about that game.
All right. On to Week 5 now. Oh, and if you're wondering, there's going to be no Bills games that crack this list.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, definitely not. Vikings Pack could be interesting.
I'm actually going to go, this might be a little homerish, Buccaneers Saints. Buccaneers always play the Saints hard. I think that'll be a good game. Other than that, the Seahawks Redskins should probably be the game of the week.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Bengals and Patriots looks good too. It's a pretty good week for matchups.
Yeah.
Cardinals Broncos. That should be another good one.
Week 5.
Week 6.
Yes, sorry, Week 6. On my birthday, it's Colts Texans, so I will not be watching that.
Bills Patriots for you.
Yay!
And I'm Buffalo, but you're in Saskatchewan. Way to go, Jack.
Yeah, and they're gonna get smoked by the Patriots.
You never know. Bills play the Patriots pretty hard.
And they do play the Pads very well at the Ralph, so that could actually be closer than people think.
I'm going the Monday night.
Giants Eagles.
I'm going the 49ers with Rams.
Okay.
I'm high on the Rams. If they can get a decent pick out of their 2 picks.
And if they can get something out of Sam Bradford this year.
Yeah. Keep him healthy, he should be fine.
Yeah, Week 7. I guess one of the big headliners would be San Fran, Denver.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
Yeah, that's my game of the week.
And then you might also want to look at the game
Packers.
Bengals, Colts too.
That's another good one.
And then
Seahawks,
if you
Rams.
if you like rivalries, you got Jets, Patriots on the Thursday night.
That should be the one. I'll be watching that one.
And who knows who could be the quarterback then? It could be Mike Vick by that time.
It might be Mike Vick to start off with.
Oh, that's very true. Week 8, we've got Saints and Packers. You can never go wrong with. Cowboys, Redskins.
That's a classic matchup.
Exactly. And then you've got you're high on the Rams. Rams, Chiefs might be nice.
Yeah. Another going Chargers, Broncos. It's a good, Bills, Jets. That's another pretty good, usually low scoring, good defensive game.
Yeah.
Panthers,
and then one young quarterback with 5 interceptions.
Just gonna hope it's Gino or Mike.
Well, I said young quarterback, so it can't be Mike.
That's true.
Week 9.
It's Manning.
You know what? I'm honestly sick of seeing the Patriots and the Broncos. I know that's
blasphemy.
I know, but I'm just so sick of the hype that's always built into it.
Yeah.
That I just don't care as much as I used to anymore.
It's a weak matchup. Saints and Panthers might be the other good matchup, but maybe Rams 49ers. But Patriots Broncos probably the game of the week. And
I don't know if it's just because he's on the Broncos now and it's not the old Patriots Colts thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is for me, but I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me anymore. Week 10, Niners San Fran could be a good one.
Yeah.
That would be especially.
No, you mean Niners in New Orleans.
Exactly, I said Niners San Fran tonight. They're the same team. Monday night, Cam Newton's Panthers, if he has wide receivers against the Eagles, would be something to watch too.
They better be drafting all the wide receivers.
Number 1 pick, wide receiver. Number 2 pick, wide receiver.
Would you question if they did go draft 3 receivers right after each other? I wouldn't.
I mean, who else? They don't have anybody else right now.
No, they all went to third receivers. So.
Boom! Big matchup. Week 11. Bills Dolphins Thursday night.
That might be a good game.
And see, the thing is, when we get down to this time, it's also there's a lot. Sure, the games could still be good, but there's also a lot to do depending on scheduling. That Falcons Panthers game could be huge for it probably will be huge for the standings. for the AFC South, NFC South standings. Yes. Giants Niners in a rematch of the NFC Championship from 2 years ago.
I like the Patriots Colts.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Seahawks Chiefs. That's Bengals Saints. Eagles Packers. That's a good week for matchups.
Your new boy, I guess, returns to his old team in week 12.
Yeah.
As Lovey goes back to the Shy.
Depending on what's going on with the draft, if they go quarterback or anything with Tampa Bay, could be from what I've seen from McCown, in the offseason, he's looking good. I didn't realize how athletic he is. Watched a video of him dunking. What the hell? He's white.
Well, he can't do that anymore.
Might blow his ACL.
No, he can't do that because he'll get fined. And there'll be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
So ridiculous. That should be my fail for the week.
Oh, it's been announced a long time ago.
It's just frustrating.
Lions Patriots could be entertaining if the Lions still have their high-powered offense.
I'm going to go off the board a little with this one. Packers Vikings.
How is that off the board? We said Packers Vikings earlier in the season.
I didn't say Packers Vikings.
I said Packers Vikings.
Yeah,
you said that could be good.
Yeah, but I think this will be the matchup of the week.
Oh, okay.
Even over the Bucs and Bears. So I think it's gonna be a good game, especially coming down late in the season. I think the Vikings, if they can get a quarterback, they'll be right there. They have the defense.
And something that's always entertaining is Cowboys Giants.
Yeah. And we get to the turkey games.
Yes.
Oh man, that's some good matchups this year.
Yes, very good. Bears, Lions, Eagles, Cowboys,
taking that day off.
Seahawks, 49ers. Definitely good. Well, and see, when you work in the newsroom like I do, you can just put them on while you work.
That's true.
Yeah, definitely all good games.
Yeah,
Panthers, Vikings, if you want to say, that could be something to watch on the Sunday.
Bengals, Buccaneers, late season. Saints, Steelers. Yeah, this week is the week for good matchups.
Pats, Pack, too.
Broncos, Chiefs, Dolphins, Jets. That could be a lot of division-deciding games right there.
That's going to be and let's not understate the Browns and the Bills.
You know what? The Browns are going to be good. And if the Bills are still in that 500-ish level of that thing, that could be playoff implications for one of those teams.
And maybe Emmanuel won't blow out his knee running this time.
Oh, my God. You are such a negative person.
Do I have any reason to be positive?
You have a decent team.
Historically.
You had this run in the 90s.
Yeah. In the 90s.
Oh, what do we have?
That was 2 decades.
That
was 2 decades ago, Sean.
Oh my God.
2 decades ago.
Oh, I'm so old.
Cowboys Bears Thursday night should be entertaining. Game of the week, I'd probably go Seahawks Eagles.
I go Panthers.
Especially because it's in Philly. So there's any of that fast moving Chip Kelly offense.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to go Patriots Chargers.
Okay.
That's always a classic matchup of the Chargers always trying to overcome the Patriots. Maybe if they meet in the playoffs, which is a possibility, maybe they'll give the Chargers, if they win that game, the hump to go out and actually beat New England.
Week 15, probably highlighting by 49ers Seahawks.
Yeah, that's the game I'll be watching.
There's Cowboys Eagles too. There was, like we said before, they can be pretty good, especially if Romo gets into his turnover craze.
Oh,
who knows? Who knows who could be the Cowboys quarterback that late in the year?
Still be Romo.
Yeah, I guess.
Making way too much money.
Saints Bears, that could be all right, I guess.
Packers Bills.
Oh, have fun with Dan at that game.
I will. Oh,
I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean actually have fun because you'll probably go to that game.
Probably.
We're going week 16 now.
Jets and Revis Island should be good.
Yeah. Eagles Redskins again. That'd be pretty
games?
Good. Yeah, I guess they're doing 2 Saturday games now. They're both on. One is going to be on NFL Network, and one's going to be on CBS. It looks like.
That's pretty cool.
And I guess I don't know. It's going to be weird. Not weird in a bad way.
Yeah.
Broncos Bengals could be pretty interesting.
I like Seahawks Cardinals.
Yeah.
I once again I'm going to be riding hard on the Cardinals like it was last year. I think the Cardinals sneak in. Not even sneak in. I think they go 11-5. And
then week 17, final week of the season, it's very hard to say because, like we said, we don't know what records are going to be like. So games like Rams, Seahawks, and 49ers Cardinals could have huge impact. Every game this week is a divisional game.
Yeah.
And probably the only games that aren't going to have too much importance are Jets Dolphins.
Colts Titans.
Well, I could.
South. No one gives a shit about the AFC South.
But it could mean something for the Colts in playoff position.
True.
I'm just saying, like Jaguars, Texans, Jaguars, Texans, Jets, Dolphins are probably the two games that won't have any impact on anything.
Bills, Patriots, maybe.
But but even if the Bills are bad, that could have something to do with the Pats.
Yeah.
Like maybe going for the number 2 or getting home field throughout the playoffs.
Yeah. A lot of good matches this year.
Yes. And then going into this year, we're about 10 days away from the NFL draft. Sorry, there's an NHL commercial on right now. NFL draft is on in 10 days. So you're going to have your mock draft up soon.
Yes, it'll be done Wednesday, hopefully posted by you Thursday.
Okay. So you've already kind of worked out the skeleton to it. What would be, with going in from your mock draft 1 to your mock draft 2, what would be your biggest, falling stock or falling player in this draft?
Probably going to be Teddy Bridgewater. After having a terrible pro day and not doing any of the drills at the combine, and pretty much scouts are just going to have to go out game tape. I think he'll slide. I think he'll still be a solid quarterback, but I think he'll slide of anyone that should be in that top 10 to 15 range. He'll probably slide down to Aaron Rodgers territory, which might not be a bad thing. Maybe he climbs up or joins like the Browns. Maybe the Browns move up and get their quarterback of the future. And maybe like 22, 20, and move up like 6 picks with their second pick.
So to counter that, whose stock has risen the most?
Risen?
Or rose the most? Risen? Rose? Whose stock is on the climb?
That works. It's got to be Mike Evans.
Okay.
There's no way he gets out of there's no way he gets past Tampa Bay. There's absolutely no way he gets past Tampa Bay. Especially with Watkins, he'll probably be gone by probably 4. There's no way he gets past Oakland. I don't even think he makes past the Browns. He's that good of he's that much of a playmaker. So I think Evans probably from like a mid 15th pick, probably close to a top 5, probably the biggest move. Of like a top pick.
Now there's always trades on draft days.
Yes, which will blow up my mock draft almost immediately.
So what would be the biggest trade of the day?
Probably going to be Atlanta.
Yeah.
Probably Atlanta's moving up to 1 or 2, depending if the Texans trade out of it. It's because they'll probably try to pick a quarterback later at the Falcons pick. Or it could be a swap of they pick Clowney and hold on to him, hoping that the Falcons can get their guy and kind of swap picks from there.
Like an Eli.
Like an Eli Rivers.
That's what I was looking for.
That's what I think that might happen. I think the Texans are probably holding out for Manziel.
Okay.
Because I think they're just a quarterback away. Could they use some more pass rush? Yes. Could they get it a little later on? Yeah, but it's not going to be anywhere close to what Clowney can do. But they need that quarterback a lot more than they need a pass rusher.
Which is fair. And I think I kind of agree with you on that. So
yeah. So if you see the Texans go quarterback, their first pick,
they're keeping it.
It'll be Manziel, yeah.
Okay.
If it gets to that, St. Louis's phone will blow up.
Okay.
You'll have possibly the Bills moving up to get Watkins, because there's no way that the Jaguars don't take either Khalil Mack or Clowney. There's no way that those guys go that far. I expect Mack to probably be taken by the Jaguars, but Clowney will be gone by 1 or 2. The Rams don't need Clowney. They have 2 pretty damn good ends, and they have a pretty good defensive line. That'd be massive overkill. So I expect the Falcons to go up, maybe the Bills for Watkins. If not, someone's going to have to move up, maybe with Oakland or Cleveland, to get ahead of the Bucks for Evans, if they want the second best receiver in the draft.
Behind Watkins, you mean, right?
Yes.
Okay. So until the draft day, we can't really say much about it other than pretty much what we just said. So Sean is going to be live tweeting the draft on the Sports by Schmucks Twitter account, which is at Sport by Schmucks. So make sure to follow that so you can see his breakdown of the NFL draft as it happens. Are you just going to do the first round, or are you going to try and do more?
Well, I took the day off work for the first round.
All right. So
second round, I also took the day off. I'm going to the Jays game after, so I'll probably do round 2 and 2, possibly 3, depending on the time I leave.
All right. So there you go. Not just round 1, but round 2. So good stuff there. So we'll finish up with the high fives and face palms like we always do. Sean, do you want to go first?
Sure. I'll start off on a little bit of a negative note. My face palm for the week goes to the Buffalo Bills for more reasons than just being the Buffalo Bills.
Hey now.
The fact of the story of the Buffalo Jills got out and their jiggle test and just the insane amount of detail and lack of pay that it takes to be ogled by drunk men in Ralph Wilson Stadium. God, I feel sorry for you.
For me?
No, for the Buffalo Bills. I feel sorry for you for being a Buffalo Bills fan. Sorry.
Classy.
I know, taking a couple stabs there. My high five for the week goes actually to Jose Abreu, the slugger out in Chicago for the White Sox, who's having an absolutely amazing beginning to the start of his career out in Chicago, breaking Albert Pujols' record for most home runs in the month of April to start off a career and RBIs. That's just incredible. Good for him. He's not going to get the publicity that Yasiel Puig got last season for his pretty darn good season, but with just being quiet and being in Chicago, just going and doing his thing. Good for him.
I'll jump in with my 2 wins now. 2 high fives. I'm going with high fives this time, 2 of them. First one's more dated reference is Greg Popovich. He just won his 3rd NBA Coach of the Year, but what I want to talk about is his interview with Craig Sager Jr. in between the 3rd and 4th quarter of the Game 1 of their series with the Dallas Mavericks. With his father, Craig Sager, being treated for leukemia, Craig Sager Jr. was allowed by TNT to step in as a sideline reporter for the game. Popovich, who's normally pretty crusty with sideline reporters, was very happy and was joked around with them, saying that Popovich liked Sager Jr. better than his dad. Then right after, Popovich said, it's not the same without you here, Sager. Get back soon. We miss you, and we hope, we wish all the best. So it was a very nice moment from Greg Popovich there. My second high five is kind of strange where it starts out from, but it's to Dani Alves of Barcelona, who, when he was taking a corner kick, he, I'm going to say a person in the stands, because I don't want to call him a fan. A person in the stands threw a banana at him. So what did he do? He picked it up and he ate it. I mean, exactly. I mean, it's probably the best way to take. I mean, that's probably the best way to take. Like, I'm not giving a high five, of course, to the throwing the banana. The high five is to his reaction. I mean, that's probably the best thing you could possibly do in that situation, is just make a joke out of it. And then he later said after the game that he said thanks to whoever threw that, because that gave me the extra energy needed to make a key cross that set up a goal later in the game. So good on him for handling it that way and actually handling it in a positive way. You don't want to make a joke out of racism at any time, but it's good that he can at least
rise above it.
Yeah, exactly, rise above it. So that pretty much wraps up the podcast here. We already told you our plans for Sean and his mock drafts and whatnot. You can follow him on Twitter at Sean_McD2. I am at SmithBR10. And we are at Sport by Schmucks. Follow us there. Sean's going to do, like we said, NFL draft live tweeting. You can also check out some other things that we might have coming down the pipe on the Sports by Schmucks Twitter account. You never know. Website, sportsbyschmucks.blogspot.ca. Read our stuff there. As always, thank you for watching. And you know what? I don't know. Do you have a good sign-off for this one, Sean?
I never get sign-off.
And that's how we're going to end it.